and we have new developments on the lawsuit against the governor of Louisiana on behalf of medical watchdog Do No Harm regarding the state's Board of Medical Examiners. The organization claims that the board's criteria for appointment is unconstitutional, saying that race must be taken into consideration, which is in violation of the 14th Amendment. Although filed under the tenure of John Bel Edwards, as of this week, this now becomes a matter for Jeff Landry. And that is tonight's top story. Joining us now with the latest is chairman of the organization that's filing that lawsuit, Dr. Stanley Goldfarb. Thank you for being here tonight, Dr. Goldfarb. Now, your organization is focusing in on the statute that every other appointed member from each list submitted shall be a minority appointee, and you say this is dangerous for both patients and physicians. Tell us why.
Well, I think the problem with it is twofold, really. One is it really undermines any black physician that's appointed to this or any other minority physician that's appointed to the medical board. Medical boards are important. They really monitor the clinical practice in the state, and they're important in doling out any punishments, being able to make important professional distinctions about the kind of practice that went on and whether physicians should be sanctioned. And I'm sure there are many totally qualified, very able black and other minority physicians who could fit that role. But if they're appointed simply because there's a spot that has to be filled by a black physician, it really undercuts their standing. And I'm sure that would be a source of frustration when it's thought that they were appointed not because of the achievements that they've had and their respect they have by their various schools. And I know these are appointed by medical schools and hospital system. I think it undermines them. That's problem number one. Problem number two, it's just illegal to do things on a racial basis in our country, and that's the basis of our lawsuit.
So, Dr. Goldfarb, I know in your initial statement you said that expertise should be the determining factor, and there are other requirements to be on the board, including they must have been licensed for at least 5 years and have lived in Louisiana for at least 6 months. So, in your opinion, is that taking expertise into consideration enough?
No, I don't think that's enough. Just to be a doctor and be there is not the point. The point is someone who can make important judgments about the quality of the work of their peers, that's wise enough to make distinctions about what sort of punishment ought to be meted out. This is a very important role that this is played because, after all, medical practice is regulated at the state level. So these individuals on that board have a great responsibility, and I think those are the minimal qualifications, but they don't speak to the kind of individuals that ought to be appointed.
Now, before I let you go, we did reach out to the governor's office regarding this, and they did tell us that this now becomes a matter for Governor-elect Jeff Landry, as this lawsuit does come amid a change in leadership. So for you, what are you hoping happens next now?
Well, I'm hoping that we have a system where the best and the brightest are appointed. I don't really care. It could be fine if the entire medical board were black physicians and other minority physicians, as long as they were the most qualified ones that were available. And, you know, if there were a pool of physicians who were equally qualified and the institutions decided to appoint and recommend black physicians or other minority physicians, that's fine. That's up to them. That's perfectly fine, as long as they were the best individuals that they could come up with. And that, and rather than have some sort of quota system, which is the way it works right now.
Well, Doctor, we will be watching updates on this lawsuit closely. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.